Tim Brando, Billy Packer. Louisville only 1 of 6 from the floor, but they get a flush off the break. Marcus Maben ties the game at 5. Not quite 3.5 minutes gone here in Lexington.
Tim, the first time today Louisville's been able to take advantage of Kentucky's ball handling woes. And if there is a difference in these ball clubs, it's the ability of Louisville defensively to turn the ball over and turn it into points. And there it is again.
Yep. Off the break, Reese Gaines.
Louisville this year is scoring more than a third of their points on turnovers they create that go directly to baskets. And today they're taking advantage of it here early in the ballgame.
35% of their offense, and already Kentucky with 3 turnovers. McGlory, the dump down. Sol Smith pulls it back. And after a sluggish start for both teams offensively, the 94-foot style that really Denny Crum wants in this game has become really the essence of the opening 4 minutes.
And really interesting, the contrast of what these two teams need to do to each other. And Louisville wants to turn it into a full-court game, a lot of pressure. Kentucky like a half-court power game.
Allison the steal. Bogans, his first collegiate start, nearly lost it. Save to Louisville.
Sensational play by Gaines.
Williams, not there. Maben tries to save it.
Now, if you ask me, this is the kind of game Louisville would like early on. They're playing helter-skelter all over the floor. Louisville, the deeper team, particularly in the backcourt.
There's one for McGlory, but it could be fool's gold, Billy. You're right.
The Final Four is sponsored by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealers. Prudential, your rock-solid choice for insurance, investments, real estate, and financial services. And by Daytech Online. The rules of online trading are changing.
And one of the great rivalries in all of college basketball, the 31st meeting between Louisville and Kentucky. Kentucky leads the series 20-10, but Louisville's won the last 2. Billy Packer, great to be with you. And we haven't needed a 35-second shot clock. A 24-second shot clock hasn't been needed so far in this game.
Well, it did go off right after the first basket, which Kentucky hit with a 3-point play by Prince. And since that time, of course, this has become a helter-skelter ball game. Let's think about some things. Kentucky has a decided advantage on the boards. They've got a very impressive positive rebounding differential between their opponents and themselves. Louisville has actually a negative rebounding advantage. So you'd think Kentucky would love to get into a power game half court at a time and not let this game get spread out.
Tubby Smith in his 3rd year. He's been hearing the howls from the Kentucky faithful after the national title in his first season and a trip to the Elite Eight, only losing to Michigan State by a small margin last year en route to defending their title, but it's been most difficult. He had some players leave. Hogan's obviously and Michael Bradley. And he's lacking size this year to go along with the turnover problem that Sol Smith, his son, has encountered with the pressure in the backcourt.
Well, one of the things that I really like that Tubby's doing, he's moved Sol down court, using Prince to bring the ball up the floor. There's Bogans, who has a great start against Indiana, is really starting to become a scorer for this Kentucky team.
The young man that teamed with Joe Forte, now the star of North Carolina, and Morgan Wooten's backcourt last year at DeMatha High School out of Hyattsville, Maryland, making his first collegiate start. Bogans, as we mentioned. Tayshaun Prince has moved to the point as part of the move. McGlory, the leader of this team, and Williams obviously has to play big, as does Nate Johnson for the Louisville 5 that has Maben and Gaines making up the explosive backcourt.
A Louisville team, and you can remember years past when they were so outstanding. Everybody always used to say, well, what is their Achilles heel? It would be foul shooting. Last year they had an outstanding foul shooting team. This year they're up at 71%, almost 72 as a team.
I was talking to Denny Crum earlier. There's the Dick Clark of college basketball. He's been there for 19 years. He still looks like he could host American Bandstand. He said that's one area that he's really proud of, what his team has been able to do at the line.
Straight man-to-man by Louisville, trying to use their quickness.
Allison turns it over. He's been in some funk early this year, Billy.
Well, I think that was a pretty good play. He'll get charged with a turnover, but McGlory should have been there on that pick-and-roll move.
Now you see 5 already, and the points off for Louisville. 4-0 in that category. Nice work off the wing by Maben, the junior from Clarksville, Tennessee.
You know Maben can shoot and wants to. Lead pass, nothing. Oh, there's a push, and not a good play on the inside by Gaines, because there was no place that Saul Smith could have gone with the ball.
Gaines' second foul.
We'll see the play right here. There's no place that Smith can go. Gaines would have been smart to just let him continue out of bounds. First sub in the game, Stone in for McGlure.
Jamal known more for defense than offense. Stone, a pretty good ball handler at the power forward spot. Oh, we're looking at those scores, Billy. Big win for Lon Kruger today. Illinois beating Kansas. Stone can't finish.
Good job by Allison, out and in.
As we mentioned, that shot clock not operating, so from time to time the public address announcer will shout out the time remaining. Now, we do have a shot clock that is operating. Stone, player control foul against him. Only 80 miles separating these two. 30 meetings in the past. Louisville dominant in the last couple of years. Even in a 12-20 season, 2 seasons back, they were able to win here in Lexington.
A couple of interesting things about that, Tim, is the fact that whenever the football team wins, the basketball team loses, which does not spell well for Louisville today, because Louisville beat Kentucky in basketball. And also the fact that the winning team in this game has beaten the team twice that eventually won the national championship.
Nate Johnson knocks down his first 3, averaging just under 17 per game. The senior from Camden, New Jersey.
It's only his 3rd 3 of the year.
Stone,
nice,
picking up some loose change in the paint. 14-12 Louisville.
Nice double team by Kentucky.
Stone, little overplay causing the turnover.
Good decision by Prince. There's nothing there. Boy, Allison makes you nervous when he handles that ball, doesn't he?
Bogan's a ball fake. Oh, he threw up a brick.
Louisville has numbers again and get it to a guy that's been outstanding from the outside so far this year, shooting right at 50% from 3 in Williams.
Well, that was a nice save, Billy, by Gaines to allow Johnson the second chance. Reese Gaines kept that one alive for him.
Interesting out here, Louisville has not gone to the bench as of yet. First substitution coming in.
Baseball
home runner.
Prince, that was a poor decision on the part of Maven.
Well, Maven slipped a little bit on the shot.
Allison finds a crease. Crowd becoming a factor. 16-14.
They're a factor, and they're all dressed in blue. So there's no Louisville contingency here today.
Rims are notoriously tight here, Billy, and a lot of times long rebounds lead to fast break opportunities. Allison on the wing.
Well, Kentucky sure isn't slowing this game down any, and Louisville looks tired. Their players are whipped right now.
They're pulling all the strings. The Wildcats are the maestro for now. Sometimes decisions aren't what you'd like them to be.
Well, you can see the state of Oklahoma is really doing the job, and Tulsa not far behind those 2 undefeated clubs. Cincinnati was expected to be undefeated, but how about the likes of Dayton and Creighton, LSU, Minnesota? If I said what team in the Big Ten was going to be undefeated start of this season, it wouldn't have been Minnesota, and NC State coming in there at 6-0.
And you talk about a couple of schools that really need good news. Minnesota, Dan Monson doing the job in the wake of all of the controversy swirling about that program, and John Brady at LSU coming away from a tournament victory against Jerry Tarkanian in Fresno in Hawaii. And it's been a while since the Tigers have been a factor in late December, record-wise, even with a rather easy schedule.
Of course, that Dayton team, one of their victories against Kentucky in, of all places, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So some people think that game was played up in Dayton.
Many will tell you that this game very important to Kentucky, what with Michigan State looming, and then the conference schedule in the SEC East this year, Billy, is loaded.
Here we see Kentucky for the first time playing zone defense. Leaves Maven wide open. He has had trouble this year from 3.
There's the long rebound leading to a break.
Kamara. Beautifully timed. Kamara just coming into the ball game. Very good lead pass.
Tony Williams finger roll to answer.
Well, you got to play Williams first for the shot. That really gives him an advantage on the pump fake and the drive to the basket.
J.P. Blevins, number 3, the sophomore from Edmonton, Kentucky. Metcalf County High School's checked into the game. There's the dump down from Blevins to Stone in traffic.
Terrific utilization of his footwork and space that time. Use the dribble wisely. Very seldom do you see a guy get by with that close to the basket. Putting that ball on the floor.
Stone, a highly touted player out of Alabama. Kentucky able to get in there and take him away from Cliff Ellis and Mark Gottfried in that state.
There we see the 1-2-2 zone.
That was a kick. We'll get a fresh clock.
Here we see that 2-on-1 break. Allison timed it perfectly. And Kamara, who can really get above the rim, was ready for it. Great delivery.
Kamara had been starting, but what with the turnover difficulty, getting him alive off the bench, perhaps that will add to the chemistry for Kentucky with Bogan starting and Kamara coming off the bench.
Well, he missed the bus and did not start in the Indiana game, but didn't start today for a different reason. Solid screens out front to get the jumper off.
Williams.
He has been on fire. Matter of fact, at one point was set to be on pace to break the all-time field goal shooting percentage from 3 for a season.
Williams has 8, and of course deep roots in the state of Kentucky out of Dawson High School in Louisville. 2 for 4 today in threes.
Now Louisville, a team now blessed with a lot of Kentucky kids, which kind of gives you a little bit of an edge playing with that home state reputation.
Todd Tackett, number 12, in the game along with Blevins, Prince, and Stone. Tayshaun Prince. There's that long rebound again off the missed jump shot from the perimeter.
Now Prince is going to take that shot from that far outside. He's got to become a rebounding factor.
Off the back iron, Smiley can't hit. Out of bounds. Control to Kentucky. Get in-depth team reports, live scores, and stats. When you've got to know more about college basketball, just click on it. NCAA Hoops at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Williams sits down. Nate Johnson comes in for him. Reese Gaines also on the floor, number 22 for the Cardinals.
Timmy, one of the things about Prince, he has got to be on the offensive glass a lot more than he is. This year, he basically came into this game with under 15 offensive rebounds, about a third of his total. He has got to get on the glass.
There's one of those unforced errors, Billy.
Now, Kentucky really hurting and when they have to go to the bench in the backcourt.
That's their 7th turnover.
Not a lot of quality depth there. And they come out 1-2-2. 3-quarter court press now. Change it up pretty nicely.
What is that saying? A team that presses doesn't like being pressed? Tayshaun Prince delivers.
And there's an example of why I said Prince needs to get to the offensive glass. You can see how high up this young man can go. Step through and a walk.
Trying to pinch through the double team. Caleb Gervin turns it over.
Now what's happening to Louisville against this pressure is 4 men are running away from the ball. Nobody coming back to create a passing lane. Many times, Tim, against pressure like this, and you can see where Kentucky is going to have 5 guys in the picture right here. Louisville only has 2. There are no passing lanes for the passer. Kentucky in that half-court trap turns it right back into their offense. Now, both in the full court pressure, the half court pressure, Louisville players are running away from the passer. They have got to either come to the ball, create an opportunity for the passer to have a lane to throw it to. Good job by Kentucky.
Billy, pretty obvious that Tubby Smith has decided to play small ball today. Rather than using his size, he's decided to play the up-tempo game, getting more ball handlers on the floor. Denny Crum came into this game thinking that if it's a half-court game, he's in trouble. He wants the full-court style.
Good screen that time by McGlory for Prince.
Oh, what a left-hand leaner in the lane. 7 in the game for Tayshaun Prince.
See, I think when you have 2 small guards like this and Prince is on the outside, he should crash the boards after every shot and let the guards rotate backwards because he can really be effective on the offensive glass.
This youngster, Caleb Gervin, the sophomore from Cathedral City, California, cousin of G. Gervin, of course, the nephew of George Iceman Gervin. He's really played well of late. Denny Crum as high on this youngster as anybody he has on the floor.
He's got to look for his shot a little quicker.
Johnson can't connect. Gaines again giving a second chance to Louisville. And the follow on the third opportunity for Dion Edwards.
No block out that time by Kentucky. Edwards came right down from the foul line.
Gaines does the dirty work for Louisville.
Well, he's 6'6".
Prince again, same spot. 9 in the game for the sophomore from Compton, California. He's 4 out of 6 from the floor.
He's listed at about 6'8" or 9. Really plays almost 7 foot. Nice play.
Gaines again. Beautiful dump down.
Smiley couldn't get it off inside. Probably should have put it up on the catch. Prince is becoming the primary ball handler in this ball game. Tough to match up with him out there.
Saul Smith.
Wow. There's Kamara. I question that shot.
Here's Gervin. Great speed this young man has.
Took too long to hit ahead.
Dion Edwards not anticipating that pass from Johnson. It was a good one. 27-23 UK. 9 of 13 on 2-point shots, Billy. That's 69%. 60% overall. This is a team averaging 40% shooting as a team coming in. And this block by Jamal McGlure breaks the career record once belonging to Melvin Turpin, part of the Twin Towers. 281 to 84.
227, as you can see right there. Sam Bowie in third place right there. Sam sitting right next to us here. Sam still holds or ties with Riddick, Andre Riddick, the all-time single game block record of 9.
Yeah, you really get a feeling, too, that McGlure is maturing as a team leader at a time when really Tubby Smith needs him to. It wasn't that long ago he stayed in Tubby's doghouse.
Allison and Smith return to the lineup for Louisville.
Now we see Bogut's going to be the ball handler. Prince works himself down court. Williams on him. A little better matchup for Louisville here. Williams on Prince.
Well, again, Saul Smith, who's been one of the better shooters so far this year, moves to the wing. A dump down inside leads to the foul against Dion Edwards.
Now Allison's making some nice decisions today with his ball handling. Good touch pass there.
Tonight on CBS, when Renegade Santas try to hijack Christmas, Samo and Kelly prove that it is better to give than to receive. You better watch out. Samo Claus is coming to town, an all-new martial law tonight on CBS.
Prince, a young man, all NIT preseason. Not the only bad game he's had this year. He was 1 for 8 with 8 points against Dayton. Really hurt Kentucky in that one.
21 in that first meeting with Maryland in the preseason NIT. Of course, Maryland winning at Cole Fieldhouse last week.
Kind of unusual for two teams of this magnitude to play twice already this year, Maryland and Kentucky. That was Maryland's first victory ever over Kentucky in the storied history of those two programs.
There's that Illinois score again. Boy, Lon Kruger really turned the corner, Billy, last year at the Big Ten tournament, and it's just carried through to this season.
Outstanding coach. That ball game today looked like a regional final.
Yes, it did. Smith.
Pretty good block out there.
And I love Stone. Stone really playing hard underneath. That time it was an errant pass, but all he could do, and the crowd appreciates it.
Now Stone has great hands. Good footwork inside. Just needs playing time, and he's going to get that. Look at those hands. That's what I was talking about. Ball gets away from the guy and just pulls it right back in.
Well, we talk about Kentucky's turnover problem. Louisville's turned it over 6 times today. Reese Gaines getting the high pick from Williams. Kentucky plays through it well.
Kentucky back in that zone.
Gaines.
And now no basket. That ball was above the cylinder.
And it was going to go in.
I don't know. I don't know if it has gone in. But without question, the ball is in the cylinder. Watch this. See, it's still in the cylinder.
I think it's going in.
Possible.
Yep. Don Rutledge, the veteran official who retires at the end of the year, accurately calls it as the ball was in the cylinder when Williams went up.
Here's Prince again, bringing the ball up the floor as the primary ball handler. Showing his versatility, and I think it's a very smart move by Tubby Smith today to take that away from Louisville.
Oh, nice recognition by Stone. Allison can't hit. Prince can. He has a dozen.
And who's on the offensive glass? Prince.
Yep.
It's one thing to bring it up, then he can go ahead and filter inside. Here's the half-court trap again.
Largest lead of the afternoon for the Big Blue.
Kentucky doing a great job changing up their defenses against this Louisville club.
8th turnover committed by Louisville.
Good position down inside by Stone. They don't get him the ball.
Oh, look at that.
Clear out.
Saul can't get it anchored so far. He's the only one that's really not shooting well so far today. You saw the graphic, 57% as a team, but Saul has been carrying this team offensively. Well, can you believe these numbers early on?
Well, you can see Kentucky, one of their victories, obviously against Penn there. Jerry Tarkanian struggling a little bit. Courtney Alexander had the huge game this past week, so it's good to see that young man who transferred from Virginia doing well. But Jerry Tarkanian, who at one time had the best winning percentage of all time among coaches, and right now struggling a little bit.
Penn was picked to win the Ivy preseason. McClure, by the way, has come back into the game for Kentucky. This Louisville drought has lasted now 7 attempts. They've only hit 1 of the last 7. Kentucky in a 9-2 run.
Key is to get this ball on the foul line against that 1-2-2 zone, or get it to Williams anywhere. Boy, he's got terrific range on that shot. Takes him a while to get it off. It's not quick, but it is accurate.
3 for 5 from three-point range for him. Tony Williams single-handedly keeping Louisville in it, down by 4. Now you watch the game, the way it's being played, you think Kentucky would be up by double digits. McClure. This has been the problem for him. This is what he's worked on most. The little leaner jump hook with either hand. Never going to be a Nazi Mohammed type, but wants to improve his offensive game.
Steps.
Yep.
Oh, they call a foul instead of.
Saul Smith reaching around. That's his second foul.
When you look at games, this year he's only taken 6 threes. He's got to be, in this game, more of a threat from the outside.
Not just a shot blocker today, Jamal McClure. 32-26, Kentucky leading Louisville. Tim Brando, Billy Packer. Well, you talk about playing the best, and Kentucky's accustomed to that, but this is a very young team. Got out to a quick start, Billy, and then, of course, reality began to set in once they played Arizona.
Well, we'll see if it's reality as this season goes on. You talk about this young team, and of course, Michael Bradley transferred, Myron Anthony transferred. So these are guys that Hogan, who would be a primary shooter and a backup guard here this year, or maybe even a starter, transferred out. So they've lost 3 players that would have been experienced players in this lineup. It changed it greatly, particularly playing that type of schedule early on.
And of course, the Indiana star who tragically passed away, 6'11", can't miss in the minds of many, who passed away during an Indiana State tournament, John Stewart, while Kentucky was in the NCAAs. So they anticipated having him. There's nice offensive work by Dion Edward for the putback.
Twice Edward has come down, not blocked out. Of course, in that zone where he's playing, it's very difficult. Gets a 1-2-2 zone to stop a man that rushes right down from the center. Good job by Edward.
Prince, who's been the catalyst for Kentucky up top. Well, you really have to applaud Tubby Smith for that decision. Bogans, that's a train.
Then it was Georgetown winning 84-75. Today it was 83-75. G. Gervin scoring for Coach Clyde, the Glide, Drexler. But in the second half, Georgetown was the superior team. There's the dunk, Demetrius Hunter, and Braswell, Kevin Braswell, who would lead the Hoya attack. He hits the 3. He had 18 for the game, and Georgetown improves to 6-3. Notre Dame opens a 5-game homestand with a win, much needed. It had lost 5 of its last 6 games. Troy Murphy had 30 today for the Fighting Irish. Missouri, first-year coach Quinn Snyder brings his team back after consecutive losses to Indiana and St. Louis. Look at the move right there. Dwez Henderson for Iowa. And there's another first-year coach, Steve Alford. Meanwhile, Missouri's Clarence Gilbert hits the 3 from the corner, gave the Tigers a 9-point bulge, and Missouri wouldn't let them get any closer. Keon Dooling would hit a 3 also, and Missouri got on for victory here, and they're now 6-3, the Tigers on the year. The Mocs of Chattanooga fall to Alabama. The Crimson Tide moves over 500 on the year. Shea Cotton led the attack with 17. That's Tim Parker for the Moccasins. You remember 2 years ago, the Chattanooga program was in the Sweet 16, but not this year. There's Terrence Mead, the Alabama guard. He led the Crimson Tide attack. And Rod Brizard hits a three-pointer as well. The Mocs fall to 1-6. Alabama pulls it out by 24. LSU was still 5.5 to play at home, up 20 on Sam Houston State. Meanwhile, here's a good score. Cleveland State hands Dayton its first loss of the year. Rolly Massimino, the head coach of the Vikings, with a big win today for Cleveland State. Now, by the end of the year, someone is going to win $1 million from CBS Sportsline. To find out how, just click on cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. All right, let's talk pro football. Earlier today, Kansas City won its 4th in a row to take a half-game lead over Seattle in the AFC West. It was that combination that has been so lethal this season, Gerback to Gonzalez, and it worked twice today for touchdowns. That one was in the first half, and here's another key play in the first half. Tomczak hammered, the pass is picked off, and it is run back by Donnie Edwards for a touchdown. All that was left then was the old Gerback-Gonzalez combo, and Kansas City won.
We got to go out there and just keep doing what we've been doing, and that's running the ball, play action passing, and every time we get in the goal zone, we got to score touchdowns. I think this team is playing really good right now. The offensive line is blocking great. I think we're finally starting to get it together where we want to get it, where Gunther Cunningham is trying to get us to that level of going out and winning the Super Bowl.
All right, so Kansas City hands Pittsburgh its 6th straight loss. San Francisco's playing at Carolina right now, and look at it, 27 points scored in the first quarter alone. 2 touchdown passes by Steve Berline. And a reminder, we're back here from the NFL Today studios tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern Time. My colleague Craig James will have the story of Keyshawn against Dion as that leads up to our doubleheader game later today. The Jets taking on Dallas, and Randy Cross will have the story of the Jacksonville defense that has helped that team go off to a 12-1 record. Meanwhile, we'll also visit with Dennis Green, and our coach, of course, Jerry Glanville, will be alongside as well. Here's the doubleheader lineup. Early, most of you will see San Diego against Miami, and then late, it's that Dallas Jets game. Some will see Seattle needing a win to keep pace with Kansas City. Seattle playing at Denver. Meanwhile, in college football, the Division I AA championship game, and Georgia Southern is on its way to winning the national championship game being played in Chattanooga. The Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl, the Division III title game, goes to Pacific Lutheran, the Lutes, out of Washington. Congratulations. And the Heritage Bowl is won by the Hampton Pirates today, as Vincent Lewis had 3 interceptions for Hampton. Thanks for being with us here on the Pennzoil at the Half. And we'll send you back to Tim and Billy in just a moment.
Pennzoil at the Half has been sponsored by Pennzoil, specially formulated for today's stop-and-go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
We look at the halftime stats, Billy. It's as even there as it would be on the scoreboard.
Well, some things really jump out at you. And first of all, I think, is the field goal shooting percentage by Kentucky. They have really had problems field goal percentage-wise. They've also had problems with turnovers. You can see Kentucky doing very well there. Louisville's had problems with rebounding, but they're hanging in. So the game really has no balance so far.
All right, CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from yours, CBS station.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by RCA, changing entertainment again at RCA.com. Nicorette Gum, you can do it, Nicorette can help. And by Pennzoil with Pure Base, made for the way you drive. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
It has been an entertaining first half with an interesting flow, and Kentucky leading it 35-34 here at Rupp Arena. Tim Brando along with Billy Packer. By the way, I haven't said it yet. Good to be back with you again.
Same here, Tim.
Yeah, really
glad you're out of the studio. Get a chance to see what the real world feels like.
Interesting game, really, when you consider the sort of point-counterpoint the two coaches have made.
But they really have. This game has got me complete. I said there's no balance. I guess if you look at the stats, it's all balance. You know, when you talk about not only the score being just 1 point differential, but the rebounding and so forth. But I'm really out of sync here with this basketball game because it's not what I expected. The areas of proficiency by both teams were different than what could be anticipated. There's Denny Crum right there, the Hall of Famer. And Tubby Smith, of course, took a team to a national championship. Denny with Bob Knight, the only 2 active coaches, members of the Basketball Hall of Fame. Let's see if we get some rather normal flow here in this second half. Louisville rebounded very well in the first half. Kentucky shot extremely well. to grab on the shirt.
Yep, by Allison, trying to check Tony Williams. Same starting fives to open the second half for both teams.
First of the half.
You know, when they played last year, Louisville won the game 83-74, a higher scoring game than today. Louisville was 27 for 36 from the foul line. Today, they've only gone to the foul line twice. Clean, hard-played game by both teams.
Edward, too strong, long rebound to Allison. Numbers. Oh, McGlure the follow.
Allison wondering how in the world did I miss the shot. I think he anticipated the defender giving him more problems on the release.
He's really one of the tougher players that Tubby Smith has. This has been he told me yesterday it's a team of nice guys, and he really wants Allison to play with a little more tenacity to join McGlure, who has always been one of the meaner guys on the floor from time to time. There's Jamal with a rebound.
Good blocking out by Kentucky.
7 boards for McGlure. And, of course, a record-breaking block in the first half, passing Melvin Turpin. 227 career for Jamal. Bogans, nice delivery to McGlure. Boy, Bogans is really showing why he deserved his first collegiate start with that quality dish.
Kentucky getting off to a good start here in the second half. You got to play Bogans for the shot, and there he showed that he's got something else left in that reservoir of his.
The lead is 5. Shot clock problems, as we mentioned at the outset, still there. Neither team has
charge in it. Oh! Yep. Looked like Bogans had position there. Here we see the good pass. And give McGlure credit on that one. He watched the ball right into his hands, didn't turn his head anticipating the shot.
You know, Billy, that's usually the type of pass where poor spacing can cause a turnover.
Absolutely, and I'm going to give Jamal a lot of credit there. Here's the turnover. Can he come up with the ball? He does.
Too late. Nice play by Johnson. There's that quickness of Louisville.
And there's a case where Jamal should have been happy with the steal and not try to make the play in the open court. Not one of his strong points.
Gaines operating at the top with Edward Williams, Johnson, and Maven on the floor for the Cardinals.
Louisville really out of sync in their half-court offense right now.
Gaines had a chance to take the shot.
He just does not look for his shot. Yep. He's got to be more of a threat with that ball.
There's the double team. And Dot Rutledge spots a foul. A little too much reaching that time. It will go against McGlure. His first.
His first, team third.
Good lob pass.
Yep, went to sleep to Sean Prince. Got caught.
He had his back turned. Very good heads-up play. Williams to Johnson. And they do the same thing again, but Allison says, no, I've seen that play before.
Allison leans in. Would have counted had it gone.
Well, one thing you cannot do as a defender is ever leave the man who's got the ball. He's the most dangerous guy on the floor, and particularly Allison, who is certainly proficient from that distance getting the shot off.
Deion Edward picked up that foul. Now remember this about Denny Crum's situation. That's 3 on Edward, who, by the way, does have a propensity for foul difficulty. This is a smallish team. One of the reasons that Denny's gone 10 deep is because of fouls, and the fact that when he does go to his bench, he gets even smaller. He really needs Edward on the floor, particularly on the offensive glass.
We'll probably see Hopper in here very shortly because he doesn't want him to pick up the fourth with all this time to go in this game.
There's Edward pulling it away, number 33. Not quite 3 minutes gone here in the second half. Kentucky by 5. Maven over Smith. Nice pass. Oh, sweet. And a foul underneath.
Why, just as we gave McGlure credit for not turning his head, anticipating his shot, got to do the same thing for Johnson there. Stayed right with the pass.
For the Cardinals.
Well, you talk about great starts in coaching, and here at Kentucky, only Adolph Rupp with a better start than that of Tubby Smith. In fairness to Rick Pitino, he took over a program that was mired in probation and had a 14-14 record, if you recall. It was a miraculous season at that time. What was come away 50-50?
Sam Newton said, come down here and help us straighten out the mess. So he did inherit a program that was in some trouble.
39-36, another steal. Alley-oop. Too strong. Williams the follow. McGlure. Boy, Denny really wanted basket interference and goaltending there. That was questionable.
McGlure ran 30 feet to get his hands on that one. Kentucky's all-time shot blocker adds another one.
Crum felt that the trajectory of that ball was headed downward. Hogan's using the glass.
I really like the demeanor of Jamal McGlure in this game today. He's just playing basketball.
Playing tough, but not too much attitude.
Absolutely.
Johnson with Prince checking him. Tough shot.
Nice job by Prince not to try to block that shot. Johnson's really tough down inside. He's got some strength advantage there, so Prince stayed away from him.
Pretty good matchup right here. Gaines checking Smith. McGlure wants it, can't get it.
I think it'd have been good to put it down in there because Edward has the 3 fouls on him.
Well, Denny
make him play somebody.
Denny wants to create turnovers. Allison, nice slash to the basket by Desmond Allison, who was a great football player in Tampa. In fact, the all-decade player of the year in that high school in that city. And a timeout.
We have a timeout.
Kentucky's lead is 7. Wildcats out to a good start in the second half. Louisville's last field goal was the 38-second mark of the first half. They've only been able to get one basket at the free throw line in the second half. Sunday on CBS, follow the story of one ordinary man's dream to make the golf tour. Robert Urich stars in the world premiere movie Miracle on the 17th green, Sunday on CBS.
Tim, I mentioned it twice in this robbery that resumed in '83. The team that lost this ball game went on to win a national championship. Of course, '86 for Louisville. Billy Thompson and that outstanding basketball team, and then the national champions that Tubby Smith had in '98 lost the Louisville regular season and went on to win a national crown. There's Gervin's patented mile-high three-pointer. His cousin today had 24 for Houston in a losing cost to Georgetown.
By the way, this is the first time in this storied rivalry that neither team has been ranked in the top 25 coming in.
That's a good play by Kentucky to go down inside, potentially picking up that 4th foul on Edward.
Maben, oh, the iron unkind, and a foul, the end result.
Maben not getting anything to drop for him today.
Big Blue looking good early here in the second half. 43-36. Kentucky with the lead, and a look now at non-conference games for what is a very difficult division in Conference USA.
It really is. And when you take a look at these clubs right here, and I won't give Marquette in this same group, but this group right here, these 5 teams are all NCAA tournament caliber basketball teams. UNC Charlotte, they're listed at 5-2. Cincinnati, we all know, is the top team in the United States so far in what has been a very interesting season up to this point. But that is a tough division. Similar to the SEC East. Yeah. When you start talking about Tennessee and Florida and Kentucky.
Allison leans in. Caleb Gervin going back to Florida. Billy Donovan playing the style that Quick Rick's Cats had here back a few years ago. Now, with the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Chevrolet most valuable player in the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund, a tradition for over a quarter of a century. Going back to that Florida team, Billy, they've got a player, Mike Miller, on that team would resemble a Scott Padgett, although he actually may have more versatility in his game, if you can imagine that. Donovan's team is really strong this year, and you think of that backcourt that Tennessee has, you're right, the East in the SEC, most difficult.
Here's something that was very effective for Kentucky in the first half, a half-court trap. They've got Gervin down inside.
Crowd wanted a walk against Bailey. Again, Edward all over the offensive glass, finally hauled down by Bogans.
But it's one and done for Louisville. The Kentucky rebounding advantage is starting to really pick up here in the second half.
Louisville 0 for 8 in the first 6 minutes of the second half.
Attribute that not only to shot selection, but also good defense by Kentucky.
Look out. Bogans gives Kentucky the first double-digit lead of the afternoon.
I tell you what, Bogans and Allison, very much the same in their physical makeup, are tough matchups for Louisville.
There you see the shooting woes for the Cardinal, and that goes back to the 38-second mark of the end of the first half. Gervin trying to find a lane, cut off by McGlure.
Kentucky packing it back in there now, saying to Louisville, I don't think you've got a shooter other than Williams can put the ball in the basket. Good strategy.
Playing with a sense of urgency and cause. They know Michigan State is waiting, and they're playing 500 basketball coming into this game.
It's a freedom, adventure. It puts me at one with natural elements, liberating, allows me to clear my head. One of the few things I can do whereby I actually don't hear music in my head. Brings me closer to God, allows me to bask in the wonder of God. Being at the top of a mountain is one of the most incredibly beautiful experiences I've ever had.
47-36 our score. You look at the numbers from last year to this season, Billy, offensively, Kentucky down in every category.
Well, we talked about guys that transferred out, but how about losing Padgett, Turner, and Evans? You know, you're talking about 3 veteran players of the wars on outstanding Kentucky teams, so tough to replace that kind of experience and ability.
Prince has been on fire.
This is how the game started.
He has a career-high 4 blocks, and Prince playing like one. He has 15 on the day.
Well, I think that Kentucky, by changing their defenses, half-court traps, 1-2-2 zone, man-to-man sometimes, have really caused problems for Louisville in shot selection, and that's not the answer.
Gaines grazing the rim. It's almost as if Saul Smith has given a little bit of his own personal game away with the change from the point to really the off guard. Now he's operating more at the point, but it's been Prince's day, and Saul has been more of a team.
Look at this.
Right on cue.
We're talking about a guy, as I said, plays 7 feet tall. Got the long arms, can really elevate. Tough to handle.
Timeout, Louisville.
Here we see him. Look at those long arms extend up to the basket. Great drive.
A 17-2 run to open the second half for Kentucky.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Amazing to think, Billy, that Louisville has failed to stretch from the floor in the second half.
Yeah, Louisville had a tremendous 18-0 run against Alabama, another SEC team, but they're going to need every bit of that again because Kentucky really playing with some confidence now.
The decision to go with Bogans and also move Prince to the point and allow Saul Smith to perhaps work off the ball to some extent has really played big for Kentucky. Look at that.
Amazing, isn't it?
7 of 9 from the floor for Kentucky in the second half. 0 for 10 for Louisville.
Williams down inside. Allison stuck with him there. But Allison's strong enough if you try to post him up. And one of the things that Louisville has done so effectively over the years under Denny Crum, when he has big guards, like he had with Jeff Hall and Wagner, Jerry Eves and Darrell Griffith, when he inverts those guards inside, it's usually tough to match them up. But guys like Allison and Bogans, they can go inside and guard somebody.
Allison checks out, and Marvin Stone, the freshman from Huntsville, Alabama, comes in, and another rejection. I mean, very few passes are not deflected by Kentucky so far.
And Prince is making it tough for Williams to get his jump shot off. See there, those long arms extended again.
Well, Johnson was there, slipping past Stone.
And another block.
Well defended.
Stone got a piece of that. Well, I think back to December '94 when Samaki Walker had 11 blocks to lead Louisville in that upset win, but we're seeing Kentucky turn the tables today.
That's 7-0 in that category.
Foul is on Williams. That'll be his second, team fourth.
Tony Williams gets the foul, his second. A 16-point cushion for Tubby Smith and his Wildcats.
So, sweet, ready! When hitting terrain like this, it's important to feel safe and secure. Well, being in control is now easier during the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event, where you'll find the four-door, four-wheel drive Chevy Blazer. Get the driving security you need with the available road-gripping auto-track system. And now you can get $2,000 cash back or 2.9% APR financing. So this year, be prepared during the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event. It's your turn to save.
For Jag, the address is CBS.
This Christmas, the competition is fierce. Al Pacino, Cameron Diaz, Dennis Quaid, James Woods, Jamie Foxx, and LL Cool J in an Oliver Stone film. Any given Sunday, life is a contact sport. Rated R. Starts Wednesday, December 22nd.
Did you know that almost half of the adults in Illinois do not have the literacy skills to function effectively on the job or in their daily lives? Think about it. That's an estimated 4 million people. You can make a difference by becoming a volunteer literacy tutor. Help someone learn to read. It's your call. Dial 1-800-321-9511. That's 1-800-321-9511.
The legendary watch dial, exhibited in distinguished museums around the world, is the design inspiration for the Movado Museum collection of watches. Movado, the museum watch.
These fine watches are available from James & Sons Limited at any of these James & Sons locations.
There's always something special from James & Sons.
The finest jewelry, the best prices.
Robin Williams and Tom Cruise. Tonight, 6:30, CBS 2 Chicago.
52-36, Kentucky leading, and you think of Adolph Rupp.
Tim, it looks like the Baron is sitting up here in the brown suit smiling down at Kentucky.
Now, the only thing missing would be the brown suit. That gentleman is an absolute replica of the Baron, Adolph Rupp.
And there is his son, Herky, who played for Adolph Rupp. They've had Herky played for Adolph, Sean Sutton played for Eddie when he was here, and now Saul playing for his father, Tubby.
And by the way, Saul is the only Kentucky player not shooting at least 50%, and that is in sharp contrast. Yes, today. And that's in sharp contrast, Billy, to Kentucky coming in. He's really been one of the few players that's been warm from the perimeter.
Well, Stone was the only player coming into today's game who shot over 50%. Right. They're just reversing. As I said, this game has no balance. That's probably the wrong term for it, but it is a very unusual performance, but a very good one by Kentucky.
We're seeing more of Saul Smith at the point in the second half, while Prince really controlled the dribbling in the first half.
Not a bad idea by Saul. Great play. Laying on your back. A little kickboxing there.
A little Pele from Saul.
Check this move right here. He's on his back, and he kicks it out of here.
And it saves a fast break.
Absolutely. And a 3 on nobody.
Extension of that defense gives Lewis an opening.
Wow! Objection. That's 5 for Tayshaun.
He has a handful of blocks.
I think that he becomes one of the most difficult matchups you can possibly have, and I'll tell you why. He showed what he can do from the backcourt, and it's hard to play him out there. When he moves inside under the basket, he plays like a 7-footer. And I think if he'll crash the offensive boards and not worry about being back for defensive balance, make the guards revert back there, he is going to be something really special.
He has 5 of the 8 blocks for Kentucky.
And see where he's playing against that zone? Maven finally hits one.
That is the first field goal for Louisville in the second half.
Is that hard to believe? 10 minutes almost.
By the way, coming in, Tayshaun Prince had 10 blocks. He has half of that today. 15 on the season and 5 this afternoon. Stone off the feed from McGlure. McGlure outworking people down low, gets the tie ball. Tonight on CBS, a couple about to have a baby is caught in gang crossfire. Can Walker deliver a Christmas miracle? Chuck Norris stars in an all-new Walker, Texas Ranger, tonight on CBS.
Hopper being warned about pushing around on the inside. McGlure just keeping his head. So table being turned there a little bit. There's Prince going down inside. He's got Maven on him. Tough matchup for Maven.
Bogans goes crossover. Good look to Stone. He put it on the deck, but there was a push.
Oh, there's a push before the walk.
Yep. That's what Tubby wanted to see less of, though, Billy. Post players putting it on the floor too much. He's been very critical of that this week in practice.
But you saw those hands by Stone. That was a tough pass to handle on the inside.
Bailey picked up the foul, his second. Prince off the curl.
A solid screen that time. Stone picked off Williams. But Prince was doing the right thing. He really came hard to the ball off this screen. You see the illegal screen. And there it is. There's no question about it. Stone moving the feet, not getting planted.
Third foul on Marvin Stone. He takes a seat. Allison checks back in.
At the line for the Cardinals.
And Tony Williams back in. Well, if Louisville's to make a run, Tony Williams will have to become a factor. He's clearly been the leader of this team. His uncle Keith played from 86 to 90. He has another uncle, Rick, that hear all about the Kentucky dominance over Louisville in this area, and he's been really the hero of that family the last couple of years, coming away with victories against the Big Blue.
You have a feeling somebody in that lane too soon. No basket. That really hurts.
It's been a struggle.
It's been a real struggle getting points
in this half.
You get the feeling that if Kentucky tries to sit on this, they're going to have some problems. Remember, they're a team that turns the ball over. I think they should still stay aggressive offensively, trying to score. It seems like a big margin, but it's not that big in a low-scoring game like this.
Particularly with the quickness Louisville has.
Yeah.
May have been a little problem between a cheerleader and Tobiah Hopper. I believe there was. Got a little physical with the pom-poms.
Going down there. Good hustle on his part.
You hate to see. Well, you know, I tell you, cheerleaders are strong, particularly when you have to hold up cheerleaders. And there are 17 national titles between dance teams and cheerleaders when Kentucky meets Louisville. So it's not for the faint of heart even when you're out of play.
Are you insinuating that they're strong and tough?
Yeah.
Just, you are, huh?
Well, strong and sometimes tough.
I don't know about that. I haven't seen many cheerleading fights.
No, good point. Very good point. But check the upper body here, though.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. I didn't say they weren't weightlifters. Now let's see what happens. Good job by the officials breaking it off. I'll tell you, as heated a rivalry this is, the cheerleading squad and the players seem to always get along.
Bogans, 5 of 6 from the floor today in his first collegiate start. A dozen points for him. He's got to be making Morgan Wooten very proud this afternoon.
Tough man to guard with his power and slashing ability. There he is again.
Another steal. Numbers.
Good bounce pass.
Allison. Helmet.
And Tim, this is exactly what I was talking about in the fact that Kentucky has to keep their offensive pressure on and not sit on the lead. Nice job on their part.
Really a breakout game for Desmond Allison quietly, Billy. He's got 13.
High this year of 15.
Williams. High arching. McGlure brings it down yet again.
A little bit of panic by Louisville coming down. You know, the margin was not that big a minute ago, where you don't have to worry about trying to go ahead and get all those points back at once.
Really, the problem for Kentucky this year at times has been rushing it on the offensive end, and today the reverse is true. Louisville rushing it a bit, particularly in the second half.
Now remember, there's no shot clock, so it's tough on the players right here. Nice job by Saul Smith. Goes a little 1-4.
That's his first basket, and as I said earlier, Billy, I think he's given himself up for the team today.
Denny Crum goes for the timeout. It's got to be the strategic one right now. He has got to make a move.
Chevy Blazer. Get the driving security you need with the available road-gripping auto-track system. And now you can get $2,000 cash back or 2.9% APR financing.
So this year, be prepared. During the Chevy Make Your Money Count year-end event, it's your turn to save.
58-40, Kentucky with its largest lead, just over 8 minutes remaining in our game.
Someday on 60 Minutes, when research proves a brand name drug no better than a cheaper generic, don't have to tell you that. No, but 60 Minutes will. Sunday on 60 Minutes.
Tim, we talked about the cheerleaders and fans and everybody getting along. On that timeout, I saw Aaron Howard working for Kentucky and Todd Howard working for Louisville. They are managers. Can you imagine what it's like in that family over Christmas? Terry Howard's two kids, one going to Kentucky, one going to Louisville, and having to come home and talk about this game. Of course, Terry played for Denny Crum in Louisville. That famous missed free throw, the only one he missed all year back in 1975. He was 28 for 29 in the year. Missed that free throw against UCLA, and I guess he has to live with that the rest of his life. Prince off the front iron. One of the few shots he missed, given the opportunity today for an open one. Oh, how about that strip by Saul?
He was right on the baseline, though. It will belong to Louisville underneath.
On the floor.
Well, you don't have to score to do a good job in this team game. The coach's son knows it.
What does a website have to do with your daily health routine? Everything. CBS Health Watch by Medscape. We're the online authority to help you manage your health. Visit cbs.healthwatch.com every day for your health.
Night.
Night.
In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's model. Digital satellite TV became a myth. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you the television now bring you the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA, changing entertainment again.
5 things to consider about the Chevy Impala. It's new. It starts under $20,000. It's designed, engineered, and built to be carefree. It's at your Chevy dealer now. It's received the highest frontal crash rating possible. 5 stars from the federal government. The new Chevy Impala. As USA Today put it, it's a lot more car than you imagine, at a lower price than you expect. The new Chevy Impala.
Let's go for a drive.
We spend a lot of time with our financial planner looking at the different scenarios. If I'm not around, if Yvette's not around, if we've lost our jobs.
Oh, new baby comes.
Our new baby comes along. The financial plan is really a good tool for us to help us get to where we like to be. You have one person who can answer all your questions. And if he doesn't know the answer, he can turn to one of the professionals at Prudential and get the answer for us.
He knows exactly what we want and how to get it, and he's making sure that we follow the plan.
Right, but the control stays with us.
Tim, did I use the word, there is no balance in this game at halftime? Let's take a look at this. Field goals. Kentucky came into the game shooting 40%. They are 10 for 14. Look at Louisville. 1 for 14 in the second half. That is unbelievable.
It really is. You know,
the criticism has been sharp. And the scrutiny when you take the Kentucky job, even the coach's wife, Donna Smith, is aware of that. But this was overall a very good day for Donna. She was in Athens earlier today for commencement. G.G. Smith,
Athens, Georgia.
In Athens, Georgia, led Georgia to an average of 20 wins per year in his 4 seasons at the university. And for 2 of those seasons, he played for his dad. He graduated today.
Oh, that doesn't go. A wide open layup. It doesn't look like anything is going for Louisville.
And by the way, their youngest son, Brian, is playing as a freshman in high school here in the Lexington area. And Gigi, upon graduation, hopes to be coaching in the Lexington area at a high school very soon. In fact, after the first of the year.
Nice patience by Kentucky here. Letting everybody touch the ball.
Is that old triangle move? McGlure.
8 steps.
Yep, took an extra step.
But I really like that half-court set by Kentucky. Everybody got a touch of the ball, used up some clock, and got a decent shot from McGlure had he not walked.
If there's any run in Louisville, it better happen quickly.
Well, their run has to come on both ends, Tim. They've got to do it by turning the ball over when Kentucky gets it offensively, and they're doing just the opposite. Why would you throw the ball across court, then he buries his hands in his head, or his head in his hands, rather, saying, this team I don't recognize that's playing in this game.
15 turnovers for the Cardinals.
I give Kentucky's schedule some credit for this game, too. They're used to playing tough teams. Louisville has not faced the same kind of schedule.
That's the aspect of McGlure's game that he'll really need to work on as the regular season continues. Those shots will be there for him.
Maven over Smith.
Tough shot.
And again, well defended. There's Saul on the snowbird.
Smart play by Saul to take it right up to the rim because he could sense people coming behind that had the ability to block the layup.
The lead is up to 20. And it's become a big blue coronation.
You know, every time we come to these games, like I said, we've been coming to them since 1983. Every year, you kind of get a handle of which team is going to win. For some reason, the other team just turns it around completely.
And Gaines missed one from point-blank range there. Let's take a look at the CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Pretty easy selection for our crack crew. 10 of 16 in the second half for Kentucky. A paltry 1 of 16 for Louisville. For complete game stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com.
And Louisville came into the game shooting 47%. I mean, you know, a very good shooting team.
Bogans again. That was a tough pass to catch, Billy. Outstanding hands for the freshman. Tomorrow, the NFL playoff countdown continues on CBS. And the first of 2, Junior Seau and the Chargers take on the Dolphins. Then Curtis Martin and the New York Jets battle Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. Check local listings, beginning with Jim, Craig, Randy, and Jerry on the NFL Today. Well, you notice Jim got the ball and then no one else touched it there.
We noticed that, and we talked about the little lateral going in the wrong directions. Craig James, 1,000-yard rusher, was he?
Right.
At least. Then he get to touch the ball.
You've got the pony right there behind you, and you don't hand off.
And you got a blocker. You got an all-NFL center ready to block. You got Jerry there run his mouth at the referees, and Jim tosses the lateral in the wrong direction.
Allison sits down. McGlure flushes yet another.
Everything coming up blue in this game.
Smith reaches in and picks up the foul against Gervin. Haven't touched much on the development of Gervin. It's been a tough day for him. But this is a young man that had to overcome an academic casualty, Caleb Gervin, and has been really playing with a lot of vim and vigor, and deserves more playing time, according to Coach Crum, and getting that today, although it's been a difficult afternoon for him. He had a very big game against Alabama. 12 points, 3 steals in 24 minutes of playing time. And you see Bailey coming back into the game along with Kevin Smiley. Johnson and Williams sit down.
That man scored over 2,600 points in high school. And we're on a different level, obviously, here.
Good reaction from the fans for Bogans, who's had a great first collegiate start. lead is 21. It was a 1-point game at halftime.
It took 9 minutes for Louisville to scratch from the floor in the second half, and that is really when the game turned.
Tough matchup here. Smith out on the top.
Allison pops out high.
Gaining some confidence in this ball game. You can just see it. You know, he's got a smile on his face. First time this year I've seen him play with a smile on his face. And it's not a smirk either. I think it's just a confidence.
And Billy, I think he's the closest thing they have. This is a career high for him, 16 points for Allison. He's the only player on the floor for Kentucky that has a Hashimu Evans style. They're missing that kind of thick body at the wing position.
Nice decision on his part. Throw the ball back out. You've got enough points in this game. Use some clock.
Kentucky will wind up with some turnovers today, but for the most part, their decision-making has been good. There's a foul as McGlure.
That'll be the 4th on Edwards, but not a factor here.
That is on Edward. That is his 5th.
You needed
that's his 5th back up.
You needed a big game today if you're Kentucky. Look at that schedule. That's what they have remaining before they get into conference play on January the 8th.
And conference play, that club right there, Vanderbilt, shocking a lot of people. They're undefeated right now.
Edward fouls out, 4 points, 4 boards.
His counterpart
at the free throw line, Jamal McGlure, in the midst of a double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds for Jamal.
He had 16 rebounds against Maryland. That's one away from his career high. He had that monster game against Missouri 2 years ago. Kentucky doing everything right.
The thing you have to like about Jamal McGlure, and Tubby Smith would be the first to say this, he's now harnessed some of that emotion that he always comes to the floor with. And as a senior and as a leader, they need that from him.
Another big article about he and Lenny Elmore, comments that Lenny made, our buddy and very astute basketball mind. Lenny giving him some advice as to how to control the enforcer position.
67-41. Off the wing, the jumper won't fall for Rashad Brooks.
Denny Crum looking for anybody that can make a shot here in this game. This has got to be approaching an all-time record of field goal futility for Louisville.
America Online introduces new version 5.0.
The easiest just got easier. You've got mail, you've got pictures.
Instant messages.
Customer service is always there to help.
If I knew it was this easy, I would have started a long time ago.
America Online, so easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Make tracks to Midas for a brand new genuine Midas battery and get a $20 rebate. There you go. Go Midas.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Tom and Audrey Darcy just bought 21 acres, on which they plan to build their dream house. But if they could see a complete picture of all their accounts and assets, they'd manage their money differently, and they'd break ground a lot sooner. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Junior Seau and the Chargers try to burst the Dolphins' playoff bubble. Then the New York Jets try to spoil the Cowboys' playoff hopes. It's doubleheader dynamite on CBS. CBS sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Midas. Go safely. Go Midas. And by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Tim Brando, Billy Packer, here at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, where it's been all big blue A root canal for Denny Crum in the second half offensively. 1 of 19 from the floor.
As I said, not only approaching, I'm going to go on record to say it has to be a record for Louisville. And Tim, if I said to you this afternoon, the score with 3:52 to go is going to be 67-41. One team is going to be 1 for 19. Fill in the blank. You just said, boy, Kentucky really played poorly. I mean, you never would have envisioned this is the way this game's going to go.
Look at the rebounding story. Totally dominant.
No.
And again, a rejection. McClure gets a hand in.
All right. Fans react. Hodge, Turner,
and McClure wrapped up.
Now, there's an example, though, of how he controls his emotions a bit better. A couple of years ago at that time, he might have been upset. There's the Louisville story the next 5 games.
Well, you talk about Kentucky with the game against Michigan State. Louisville goes against North Carolina. Michigan State, a team that has already beaten North Carolina.
One of the things Denny Crum's had to do since going into Conference USA, because they play more conference games, he can't play as many intersectional games, Billy, as he once did. In the old days, in the 80s, in the Metro Conference, he probably played as tough a non-conference schedule as anyone in the country. But with Conference USA so strong, he's gone a different route.
Denny is the first guy really to say, I'm going to play a murderous schedule in December to see what my team's weaknesses are. Then the likes of John Chaney picked up on that philosophy, and now we see a lot of teams doing it.
He still wants to do that, but because there's so many teams in Conference USA, it's more difficult.
There's Prince. Boy, he is showing some versatility today. As I said, started this ball game with a 3 from downtown.
He may be worthy of knighthood.
And Mabin, who was last year's MVP in this game, has disappeared for Louisville, as has everybody else, and just continues for this team.
Prince is 1 point shy of his career high. They may look for him here.
McClure on an assist.
Kamara hacked underneath, and that was a good look.
Tonight on CBS, it's an all-new night of America's Heroes, beginning with an all-new early edition. And you better watch out. Sam Claus is coming to town on an all-new Martial Law. Followed by Chuck Norris in Walker, Texas Ranger. It's all tonight on CBS.
You know, I really like what Tubby Smith is doing right now. He realizes his guys are starting to feel it a little bit, looking for the spectacular play. Going to substitute everybody. Come in with 5 new ones, or actually at least 4 new ones. Because that team, Prince and McClure and Allison and Bogans, they have really put on a show here today.
Well, if he was looking for chemistry, Billy, he found it today with the adjustment he made. A hug for his son, and Tayshaun Prince, 1 shy of a career high.
And give the Kentucky faithful some credit for the support they've given this team today.
If the coach had as the old saying goes in sports, a case of rabbit ears, he would have heard a lot this week. But
I go back to 1985. Joe B. Hall's club started 1-4 that year, and if people remember, they ended up playing for the regional final, losing to St. John's, and an opportunity to go to the Final Four. Now, I'm not projecting that for this team, but they have seen some times in the past where a club didn't start the way Kentucky usually does.
Nate Knight is on the floor along with Estelle and Masiello.
Tackett backed in there now. 1-2-2 zone.
Gaines. 2 of 23 from the floor in the second half for Louisville.
I talked to Vince Taylor, the assistant for Louisville, before the game, and he asked what I thought about the game. And I said, well, you know, if I'm going to play against your team, I'm going to maybe play a box-and-1 against Williams. I want to find out if anybody can shoot on your team other than Williams. Well, it wasn't box-and-1, but I think Kentucky found out the answer certainly in this second half was no, they can't.
Well, Denny Crum's been at it far too long not to see this team get something out of this, particularly with a toughie like the one against Carolina coming up.
Well, behind Tony Delk back in December of '95, Kentucky beat Louisville 89-66. This certainly is going to break the 2-year run that Louisville's had and continue that unbelievable string that Louisville's never beaten Kentucky 3 times in a row.
Mabin pulled down by Marvin Stone.
Well, youngster Tackett from Paintsville, Kentucky. They love their homegrown stars here, particularly when they play late in the game. Masiello, number 4, along with Kamara and Stone.
You're saying that the New Yorker is a homegrown Kentucky man now? That's a reach, isn't it?
Tackett from Kentucky, Masiello from White Plains, New York.
And this Kentucky crowd has seen so much. They're just kind of sitting back and quiet, relaxed, and saying, we don't believe it either.
1 minute left in the game.
Gaines is going to have to look for his shot, or teams are going to play off him completely, taking away his ability to make the play.
Kamara.
Way up above the rim.
Once known as Suleiman, now just call me Jules. 74-43.
Even Williams is coming up short in the shot.
Knight follows his own shot. Stone. Knight again. Well, a prince of a game, and Knight in the scoring column.
You know, you're out of control. That's weak stuff there, Tim. I'm going to send you back to the studio if you do one more of this. Officials just letting it go here a little bit.
Finally, Don Rutledge does call the foul as Gaines takes it to the hoop and does draw the foul. The Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Tony Williams of Louisville, Tayshaun Prince of Kentucky. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need.
And Tubby calls a timeout, maybe just to remind everybody how hard they worked to get to this position.
A reminder of these programs, how strong they've been. Louisville won 2 national titles, you'll recall, in 80 and 86. In 86, 72-69 over Duke. Never Nerve Purvis scored 25 as a freshman, was named most outstanding player of that Final Four. Denny Crum getting a second. Kentucky won their 6th title in 96. Quick Rick's Cats over the Orangemen, led by Ron Mercer, who was named to the Final Four All-Tournament team, scored 20. And Pitino got his coveted national crown and left the bulk of that talent here for Tubby Smith to inherit and take to yet another title in 98.
Hey, only an overtime win prevented against, the Arizona win prevented Kentucky from having maybe 3 straight national championships.
And you recall how tired Ron Mercer was at the end of that game.
Gaines at the line for
I'll tell you, Lute Olson this year, that's going to be a team to watch. You know, they got bounced early last year by Oklahoma. Oh, speaking of Oklahoma, what a job Kelvin Sampson has done at that program.
And a guy by the name of Eddie Sutton, who rings the bell with Kentucky people, doing some job at Oklahoma State. And there's a turnover. The largest doesn't go. Are they going to count it?
Yep.
Largest win for Kentucky over Louisville in 86 was 85-51. It's 76-46 today. For Billy Packer, Tim Brando. For Billy Packer, Tim Brando saying so long from Rupp Arena. Kentucky has defeated Louisville 76-46. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the men's NCAA basketball championship.